People in the Apple ecosystem who got rid of their Apple Watch. Why? E.g., you have an iPhone, iPad and MacBook but just don't get along with the watch. You switch to another type of smartwatch. If so, how is it better for your circumstances? You realized you didn't need one or found it too annoying. What specifically? Charging hassle. It broke too easily. Didn't do what you'd hoped. Another thing to have to manage, etc. X200B. I am considering getting one. But unlike a phone laptop computer that I've used for decades, this is an entirely new type of device. So I am interested to know why people felt it fell short enough to ditch it entirely. For people who still have an Apple Watch and love it, great, but this is not the thread for you to comment on. Edit. Thanks everyone for all your very detailed responses and discussions. Super informative. I will read them all and then decide. I've owned a smartwatch before, but at the end of the day, I'm a watch guy and I really appreciate having something beautifully made that will last the rest of my life on my wrist. I also find notifications intrusive enough on my phone and don't need another medium by which I can be contacted. I also like not having additional data points collected on me at nearly all times. I have one right now and, unfortunately, about 90% of the time I don't put it on. I feel like I used to use it more. And I don't know why I don't. Maybe it's because I have been way less active the last few months due to intense work. I may give it to my sister. But I just like it whether I use it or not. I love and use all my other Apple stuff. Personally, for me, it was the battery life. I tried a Samsung Galaxy Watch afterwards, and while the battery life was better, it still wasn't for me. I use an Amazfit GTR 3 now and charge it maybe once a month. I still get the notifications I want to see. Step counter, exercise tracking, etc. I've also used past models from Amazfit and really liked them. Simply put, battery life. I went hybrid and got a Withings, no regrets. I still don't understand smartwatches tbh. General recommendation: disable all notifications and opt in manually rather than just accept your fate or opt out. I did this 2 years ago. Got tired of notifications. Never-ending motivation circles are well designed to move more and constant temptations to upgrade. Will get one nice mechanical watch and I will save fortune, I thought. Forward 2 years I have spent small fortune on mechanical watches. Stopped moving that much and recent health issue showed how much the data from can give me back. Today I sport Ultra and am back. Notifications tuned down. Most dials are simple strictly for telling time and so far I can live with it. Battery life is amazing. I've personally owned 3 Apple Watches now and I do occasionally wear it for days at a time, but overall I find it intrusive and not beneficial in any practical way. It's still baffling to me that they aren't mirroring the notification sounds that apps use on the iPhone. Having the same generic sound for everything except SMS iMessages dramatically reduces the value of it if I still have to glance down every time to see what the notification is. Plus I have actual nice watches that I'd much rather wear. So the Apple Watch often gets left aside. I had an Apple Watch. I stopped using it because it became just a glorified notification screen. I'm very physically active and the calories and other information wasn't useful to me. I got a Tudor and it's just too damn nice to consider wearing my Apple Watch anymore. Abysmal Apple Watch battery life pretty much forced me back to regular old watch. My expectation would be a battery that would last at least 48 hours versus the AW's usual 14 hours. Because, especially with long sleeve shirts and coats that I need about 70 of the time in my country, The pointy glass bottom with the sensor in the watch really hurt my wrist area. Also, when I tried sleeping with it, it was annoying, obtrusive, and again hurt my wrist. Long sleeve coats with tight ends around the hand areas make the watch unusable too. It's quite annoying to push that all back to access the watch. Also, not being able to update it anymore because of low storage ended my use with it. I had an Apple Watch a few times but could not get on with it long term. 1. As someone with ADHD, I found it extremely distracting with the constant notifications. 2. I got fed up of charging it all the time. 3. I have a nice tag I bought myself a few years ago. I ultimately would rather wear that, which I do. Garmin is better for exercise. Lasts longer. You can program splits, etc. The Apple Watch tries too hard and just kinda falls short of its promises as a result. I also prefer just a normal, old-fashioned watch. Woman shrugging, light skin tone. Became a watch guy. I just got one. I'm a mechanical watch guy and have a few on rotation. Finally got Apple Watch to really force myself to focus on health. Apart from fitness needs, I don't really see any value in this watch. It is really pretty, well done, and light on the wrist, tells time well with many cool faces and complications that truly are next level, but that's all it does really well. If I were to not focus on fitness or track my sleep, etc., I wouldn't get this, as I like my other pieces more in terms of their tactility and general affordances. I have iPhone, iPad, and MacBook but not getting the watch. I've had Android watches in the past with Android phones, and I think it's a step too far in digitizing my life. Sometimes I don't want to be constantly connected and to feel like a human being, not a robot. Sure, the health and safety features of the watch are appealing, but I'd rather live in the here and now, not constantly connected to the internet and outside world. I have an iPhone and a MacBook but can't seem to get myself an Apple Watch. I'm not sure if it has to do with the fact that I don't wear normal watches or the cost of the watch does not justify the means. The battery life is atrocious for the price, and there are so many other smartwatches that last way longer. I really don't see the benefit of purchasing an Apple Watch unless maybe you're really into fitness. If I get one as a gift, will I use it? Heck yeah, but will I spend my own money on it? Probably not. I'm not answering your question, but I want to say this: I think the Apple Watch would be the last Apple accessory that's not an iPhone that I would give us. I use it for notifications, which is useful for working in a newsroom. My workouts and timers. I feel disconnected without it. Wrist computer seems like an unnecessary luxury to me. If I didn't need it to monitor some health-related things, I never would have got it. Outside of health monitoring, it's currently a $400 weather checker. I don't think I jive with the it's nice to get notifications on your watch so you know when to pick up your phone, since I just turn off almost all notifications on my phone anyway and rely on badges during my breaks to check for new messages. Anyone who needs me urgently will call me directly. Everything else can wait. I started working from home exclusively when I was still commuting to work every day. I loved my Apple Watch, but now I have almost no reason to wear it. Depends what you're using it for. I discovered that it was a terrible sports watch, particularly for distance and/or backcountry pursuits. I also decided that I didn't want to have everything available on my wrist. I gave mine to my sister. I use a Garmin now. It has more in-depth data in regards to my runs and walks. Also, the battery lasts like a week and a half without a charge. I like physical buttons too. When it's raining or I'm sweaty, that touchscreen was a hassle. Hated charging the thing too.